It's Thursday, August 29, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Our top story at this hour: former Government Minister Donville Inniss maintains his innocence of bribery and money laundering charges brought against him in the United States. And he's pledged not to be part of what he described as a media circus in Barbados, which he says was attempting to adjudicate his case in the court of public opinion. Speaking publicly for the first time since the charges were leveled against him, Inniss told Barbados Today in an exclusive interview that despite the several stories carried on his case in sections of the local media, no journalist had previously tried to speak to him on the issue, despite the fact that all his contact numbers and email addresses remained the same as when he was a cabinet minister. He maintains that no one bribed him to award contracts and that he was not in a position to award any. Inniss says he has confidence in his attorney and they are cooperating, collaborating and preparing as best as they could for the trial. He also revealed that there were persons in Barbados who could be helpful to his case but were fearful of setting foot in the United States. The Democratic Labour Party has left much to be desired 15 months after being voted out of power. That's according to political scientist Dr. Dawn Marshall. The senior lecturer in international political economy at the University of the West Indies also questioned whether former Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley brings a viable alternative to re-elected party president Verla de Pisa. For the second successive year, Lashley mounted an initial challenge against de Pisa, but reportedly pulled out of the race.
I believe all of them are, all the candidates that stood in the last election, all are struggling for relevance in light of the mandate given to the government and the overwhelming vote. They're struggling for relevance, and I think that it's a crisis of confidence that they all are undergoing. Both at the personal level and at the, and when I say personal, I mean personal candidature level, and at the level of the party. Look, I only take politicians seriously when they come to speak two causes. What is the cause that Stephen Lashley is pushing that will bring about a better understanding of social justice, empowerment, ways to lift our economy forward, ways to value the culture and the arts? What are the innovating and uplifting ideas that Stephen Lashley has presented that shall galvanize for him a momentum worthy enough and justifiable enough to mount a challenge for any seat or for any position in the DLP? If I were in Verla's position, I would have gone for rebrand.
Transport Minister Dr. William Dugid makes a case for staggered work hours as the country seeks to formulate a traffic management plan. Speaking at a national consultation examining the issue last evening, Dugid said staggered work hours should be fully explored.
Everyone present here and those within the sound of my voice are aware of the easier traffic flow when school is on holiday. Furthermore, as we build out our 24-hour society, the need for the majority of the workforce to be at their respective places of work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 9 to 5 will be significantly reduced, and this in itself will have the potential to alleviate some of the traffic congestion challenges.
St. Philip North MP Dr. Sonia Brown says she's looking into the housing situation of one of the families in her constituency. The assurance came just a day after Barbados Today highlighted the plight of the Bolden family, who braved the passage of Tropical Storm Dorian in a house badly in need of repair.
Checking with rural though, I found out that with the last administration, a few houses were built, but there was no funding put in place to actually maintain the home, so a lot of them fell into disrepair. The problem now is to get funding. I'm not sure what they're doing with the program, but I have put in for them to get to the house, because obviously in the hurricane season, I don't know, they were lucky that stood up. They had some water damage and everything, but there's no guarantee that the next time if it's a hurricane that will stay up. So I'm trying to work with rural now to get that fixed, at least temporarily, even if to get the whole house fixed, because I think that will have to be the solution. Actually, they have the name in there to have the house completely done over. So that's where they are.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves wants regional authorities to work together to tackle issues that could harm the Caribbean's bread and butter industry. He's also urged regional industry officials to come to his country's aid as it seeks to develop its own tourism industry. Dr. Gonsalves made the appeals as he addressed a two-day conference under the theme, Keeping the Right Balance, Tourism Development in an Era of Diversification.
It will always be a work in progress, but for us, it's a work in process at a very exciting and earlier stage than in some of the more mature tourism destinations. But the good thing about that is that we can avoid some of the errors of certain other destinations. And we want you to help us in avoiding some of those errors and help us too to enlarge our strengths and possibilities and to reduce as far as humanly possible our weaknesses and limitations. Indeed, even to assist us in causing those weaknesses to metamorphose into strengths and for our limitations to be altered into possibilities.
And finally, on the international front, President Donald Trump lashed out at Puerto Rico on Wednesday just before approaching Hurricane Dorian skirted the U.S. territory. The details of that story in this Reuters TV report.
Hurricane Dorian unleashed its fury on the U.S. Virgin Islands Wednesday, lashing out as a Category 1. The heavy wind and rain slamming the islands, it's expected soon to bear down on Puerto Rico, where homes and businesses are boarded up, schools closed, and cruise liners diverted, as residents hunker down.
This is not a good place to be in the next 2 or 3 days.
In the face of a potential emergency, President Donald Trump attacked the U.S. territory on Twitter, calling it, quote, one of the most corrupt places on earth. Their political system is broken and their politicians are either incompetent or corrupt. He added, and by the way, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to Puerto Rico. Trump approved an emergency declaration for Puerto Rico late Tuesday, allowing for the Federal Emergency Management Agency to provide assistance. Meanwhile, locals are not taking any chances.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.